So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by Veil of Maya, and it's called Mother. And this is their seventh album, and they haven't released an album since 2017. So, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, was it worth the wait? I could say, yeah, if you're a fan of Veil of Maya, you will enjoy this. If you didn't like Veil of Maya, maybe you won't enjoy this. But Veil of Maya is a band from Chicago, and they started as a deathcore band, their first album, but they changed their vocalist. And in 2015, they put out an album called Matriarch, which I loved. I still to this day love that album. And that album introduced the band with a different sound. It was more commercial in some ways, but it was also more progressive and more like metalcore, or like you would say metal progressive, like it was labeled. Plus they were in Sumerian records. So they have that Sumerian records type of like vibe to them. When that album came out, it reminded me a little bit some parts of Periphery, which I love. And the album that they put out in 2017, I did listen to it, but I didn't listen to it as much, so I can't remember it that much. So it's been a while since they put out new music, and now they come back with this album, and it's 10 songs, 35 minutes in length, so it goes by fairly quickly. But in 35 minutes, Veil of Maya packed a lot of things into a short runtime. These songs have so many changes in time signatures that it's like, wow, all these time changes in just one song. A perfect example of that is the song Mother Part 4. I don't know why Part 4, I can't remember some of the other albums, but this is a song that has some like deathcore elements to it a little bit, but it also has some metalcore with progressive tendency, and it also has some synths. Like in the middle of the song, the synths takes over and it becomes more electronic. And there's some parts where there's clean singing on it, and then there's the more growl. So in this song that is like 4 to 5 minutes, one of the longest, they pack everything that they do perfectly, and it's one of the standouts of the album. The album as a whole flows pretty well. I think the start of the album, Tokyo Chainsaw, I wasn't that crazy about that song. It's like a less than 3 minutes, and it's like, I don't like the stop changes that it has. It's like and it stops, and sometimes to me that could get annoying quick. So the good thing is that the song is short. But they also do that in a song like Godhead. I don't like it as much when they do that, like, because it sounds like frantic, and the guitar sound like it sounds like a machine is breaking down, and to me that can get a little bit not for all the album, but they don't do this for the whole album. But those two songs in particular relied on that, and I wasn't a huge fan of those songs. But Artificial Dose, that song is great. I think that's the catchiest song on the record. And where the clean singing comes in that part and the chorus, I thought it was You Bring Me the Horizon. It really sounded like them. But then you have those changes that they do with the djent style. That song has a lot of djent to it, but djent, accessible djent, if you will. And to me, that song has the best chorus on the album, hands down. Then you have songs like Reconnect and Red Fur that really sound like Periphery. Especially the singing on it, it sounds very Periphery, and some of the riffing. Both bands have that progressive tendencies to them. But yeah, those two songs kind of sounded like them. But they're good, they're catchy, and there's some great riffing on them. I think the last songs on the album, they were good, but they kind of lost me. Like, for example, Synthwave Vegan, which I love the title, Lost Creator, and Death Runner. They're good, but I don't know why they didn't like grab my attention as much as some of the other songs that I mentioned. And Disco Kill Party, is another interesting one. That one, the name is kind of weird, but that's another song that relies on great breakdowns and some electronics that really go well with the music, and it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable track. So what are my final thoughts with Mother for Veil of Maya? I think it's an enjoyable album. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I think it has some parts that I like more, and it has some other parts that I think like they should do less. When they do that sound where it sounds like a machine breaking down, and it's like bah, 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 I wish they would stop that and focus more on when they do the melodies with the djent and the progressive metalcore. I think that's where the band shines, at least in my opinion. But this is it's very much worth the wait that fans had to wait for this album. And if you like Veil of Maya from 2015 to now, you will like this. If you were more of a fan of their deathcore era, maybe you won't enjoy this as much. But nonetheless, it's a solid album. So what did you think of Mother by Veil of Maya? Comment, what are your favorite tracks? And as all, like, I want to wish this Sunday a happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. So it's fitting that this album is named Mother. So to all the mothers out there, have a rocking day and keep doing what you're doing, because the world needs awesome mothers. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield on the Couch. Do not forget to subscribe, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.